All right. Okay, we're back live. Back live. And we'll see if anybody jumps in and decides to join up. Um, but kind of set things up finally where I can actually have the stream working and I can see chat without having to flip back and forth to Windows. So let's hope that this works. So just going to give it another second here before I get started, in case anybody's jumping in. I did post on the forum. There's might just be me, myself, and I for this stream, but that's okay. Um, that's all we need. All right, let's see here. Okay, well, let's get started. I actually set up a couple of different scenes here in OBS where I can actually have my camera and my canvas here where I'm working, my screen. I did spend just a couple of minutes playing around, and I added a different texture. It's from the same transparent website that Stu mentioned earlier, but I went with this natural paper background. And I kept kind of this bright yellow background, but the paper's layered over it gives a little more texture. And here you can see my model added there. And then if I scroll down, I'm just going to actually, I'll show you. I did add a separate model in here as well. So can play with this a little bit. So I could choose, kind of, do I want, do I want to have, you know, this one or the other? I can kind of choose, um, you know, which model. And I think once I'm done just structuring everything, I'll definitely, like I said, I think I'll make a timed animation and loop it to where the models animate in and out and the colors, background colors change, and maybe we'll even move the landing page hero content from place to place, just to just to be able to kind of have some variety and some animation, kind of make things pop. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm going to build out my other sections here. I think I'm going to stick to the same structure. One of the things I do need to do is continue clipping some of these models. So I'm going to start there, and then I'm going to start laying out some of the other pieces of the site here. So I'm just going to pop over to a different view here. Take this full screen so you don't have to see me, and you can actually see my browser here, my browser window here. So, all right, let's get to building. I'm going to pop back over here into Photoshop, and I'm just going to step backward. Actually, I'm fine here. Don't say that. I want to open. I'm going to go to my downloads here because I do have. See, this one's been clipped. I do need to clip this one. and this one, and this one. Yeah, so need to edit all of these here real quick, so I'm just gonna do that. All right. So let's just save this as, go back to my desktop here. We'll call this Model 3. And then probably want to open, don't save. Let's open another. Let's try to clip all of these here. This was one that I was working on. Definitely want to crop this. And then keeping with how everything else has worked, I think instead of having the full body, I can come back and get full body image later. I think I'm going to cut this to where it's like right here. It kind of falls in line with some of the others, so I'm going to go ahead and export this. Save it. We'll call it Model 4. We'll close this out. Not going to save it, but we are going to open up another image. I had one more image here that I clipped. Yeah, this one. So we'll open this up and crop it as well. So just going to save this here. We'll call it Model 5. Now we have a few different options available to us. Different models and styles that we can throw in here. So I'm going to flip on over to back to Webflow. And so I've got this laid out, and the way I've laid it out is I've got a nav bar, which is up top here. I have a wrapper that holds my image. It's a background image. I have it this way so you can't right click and just take the image A, but B, just a little more control over positioning. I guess what I think I could do, since I have a set height on this, is I could get rid of this wrapper and just insert the image in directly. And let's go ahead and do that. So instead of working off a background image, so we got a nav bar, and we've got a hero section. Now, so nav bar, hero section, and nothing else in the hero section. Hero section is set to 500, and it's relative. And so I'm actually going to set this to where overflow is hidden. And then I can throw in an image now. And I can choose an image. We can just say, yeah, hey, we'll do this here. We'll set a width of 300. And we'll make it position absolute. That way we can play with it, move it around, kind of get it positioned where we want it. In fact, I'm going to make this just a bit wider. I'm going to say 340. And then I'm going to take this and move it around some more here just to get it off the logo. Just like that. So I do have, one placed here. Now you notice, like when I go here, because it's absolutely positioned to this hero, it's not in a container. So I need to fix that real quick. So in the hero section, I'm just going to go ahead and drop in a container. And I'm actually going to make this relative. And I'm going to call this hero container. And then I'm going to come over here and move our model into the hero container. Now it's relative to the container and not, or absolute targeted to the container and not the hero. And I can position this just a little bit differently here. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Pull it over, and we're just going to call this, rename the class, we'll call this Model 1. And so now I have this model right here, and I can start throwing in my landing page content, and then you know, I can replace this image pretty easily. I should be able to with any of these other models that I have. Yep, so you know, now I can kind of play, and you'll see it sticks and stays to the container. It doesn't float all the way to the edge. And in fact, I need to go ahead and upload the rest of the cutouts that I just finished. So I want to go to downloads. Actually, go back to my desktop. Go to sustain, model cutouts, 3, 4, and 5. We need to open up those and put them in just so we have them. All right. And come in here, and now we can replace this image with any of these others too as well. So you know, if we wanted to replace it with her, of course, with the different image sizes, we definitely have to play with it a little bit, but you know, we can play with this, and so we have ultimate control over that model, and then we can really play with as well the background colors. So we have some play here where we can easily change the colors because of this transparent background that sits behind. So we can, you know, we wanted to make it that. I think originally this model was on like a pink. So, you know, if we wanted to do something like that, you know, that's the kind of background that she was originally sitting on. So we have some option and some play here. We can kind of choose how we want to do this, but the whole point of cutting them out, as we said earlier, was to just kind of give us some ultimate control. Okay, so I'm going to go back and change this back to a yellow because I think that ultimately looks best, at least for now. And let's add some text in here for our landing page. So I'm just going to add a div block in here. Up did it go? Nope. Okay, let's just add a div block, and we're going to call this hero content wrapper. And we're going to float it right. And we'll go ahead and throw a heading in here. And then below that, we're going to go ahead and add a paragraph. And so on our hero content wrapper, we probably need to give it a width. So let's say like 60%. And that's definitely too wide still, so we can go 40, 50 is too much. So like 45 here. So now we have, you know, content, an image, and we can go ahead and drop in a button as well. So we can have call to action. And we'll just go ahead and style this with the same style we created in our style guide. So button. And we'll probably have to play with the colors here. So, and maybe I have multiple calls to action up here. So, go ahead and just copy and paste. I'm just going to give this an added class of, we'll just call this actually. Oh, we can come here and say hero buttons. Because we'll be changing colors on this. And I want to, since they're inline and stacked here, I would want to give a little margin so that we have some space here. So now I have a hero section. I definitely need to style this a little bit, so let's work on that now. Let's see here. All right. So, let's call this hero heading. And we'll just say this is sustain salon. And then we can play with some colors here. I'm not 100% set on this color palette. Like I said, we pulled it kind of from mood board, but if we really play with like the colors here, honestly, I think that's not terrible. What if this is like more of a lighter gray? And say, in fact, let's get rid of the second call to action. Let's just say book your appointment now. So that's what we want them to do. And on the hero button, I think for my background, I want this. Maybe I want to go like more like a darker shade of it. And on hover, I want to do something like this or like this. Oh, and then back. So, all right. So we have a hero section. Like I said, I can change this out. So I can swap this around to different images. I don't know which is the best one to play with right now. Let's just kind of play with them and see what we like. That one's pretty nice, like that. We used this one some. I like this one. I like the gritty texture on it, but I think this might be this one right here might be my favorite. All right. Keep playing here. That's where I'm excited to have the custom images that's going to come in. Stick with this one because we had it. It's what we'd kind of styled for. So. All right. So have like a hero section, and then what I really need to do is also set my menu. I kind of want some of these things to, definitely want this to line up here. So, the nav menu. Definitely want some of these to line up. I think maybe instead of, I'm gonna have to play with this some, try to get it right. And how I want it. So let's go ahead and pull that down. let's move on to the next section, and we'll come back and really line out the details once we get going. So now we have a skincare section, so I'm just going to have this here, just like this, and definitely want to use one of my background images for skincare right here. So I have this image. I definitely don't want to repeat it. Can float it to the right here. I also have place this image with this image. Yeah. The cutoff, I'd still want to keep it kind of same width. I have to get creative in how we do it. I'd probably employ some boxes for as much as I don't love it. Skincare section. Let's go to a container. Alright, so pop a row in here, and let's go ahead and throw a div in. And let's go ahead and get a highlight 300, whatever. Let's see here. There we go. And then we want to take this background image, we're going to get rid of that. And with a div block, we can go ahead and put a background image here. Choose don't repeat it, no contain. Definitely something like this, but I think what we want to do is put a border on this. So I do need to add a background color. If we did like a background color and then we add an image in like we did up top, I'm going to choose it where it's kind of like some texture, and then maybe, so what if we did this? We came up here and we said, okay, instead of having soft corners, what if we reduce to 0 and get a border, and we took the color out and we made the color the text like this, and then when you hover, we go here and then we go transparent, or on this. So now what we get is, yeah, okay. And then came down here, we said, okay, give it a border 5. I did something like that. it was a block, and maybe, or maybe it's the, instead of a column, we pull it out of the column. So that's the whole width of the section. And we put the content in there, and we kind of stick with this kind of block styling. I don't know if I like it, but this is just an early build. Let's see what we like and what we don't like. So now you have top section. You have a section like this. You put skincare information here. It's another call to action where they can book to do skincare products, which would be nice. So okay, so we do it that way. I like these colors, the way they bump up against each other. I don't know. Let's try and see what it would look like with the olive green. I like a brighter color. I know the client likes really more of an earthy tone, and so maybe something like that, or I don't really like that. It doesn't work. So what if we went with something that was more, you know, that olive, and then you have, model here, and kind of alternating that and kind of staying closer to her color palette. Okay. So let's get that. And now I'm going to spread these out to where I'm going to have more stuff up here, so I guess I don't really have to worry about it. I'm going to worry about the menu later. That's bugging me though. Okay. And so now maybe I'll do a hamburger menu for the entire site. I don't know. I don't know if I really like that idea. Have this here, and then let's throw in just some text, and let's actually put in a div block, and let's call this skincare contents wrapper, and let's do a width of like 75%. It's actually going to have to be lower. Come in here, drop you here. Okay. And then after the text block, we want a paragraph. I'm going to make this. That was 38.44, so let's just alright. And so now if we work our way up to the skincare content wrapper, actually use our overframe flex. Actually, no. Why is it not working? No, I see why. See, it's not what I wanted to do anyway. I had the wrong div selected. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. Let's game care content wrapper. Come here and give it some padding. Right. Yeah, okay. And I think I would be better off having another call to action. Oof. Alright, so I think what I'm going to have to do, there's nobody, see, alright, so if I go hover, oh, hover, and then come down, make this kind of the bright yellow, make my text more of the olive green. I'm not sure that really works with the no, I'm not sure it works with, like, if it follows contrast rules, like if that works, but so yeah, a couple of calls to action. So I mean, really, she wanted simple, so we want, you know, obviously first thing is we want people to be able to book an appointment. In fact, we probably need to add another link in the to view the menu, but your skin deserves better. Book off of that, and then, in fact, with this green section, I wonder what it would look like to change like natural paper off of here. Yeah, I think I like that better. Different. It brings out the green a little bit more. All right. So initial builds. I don't really know if I like what I have so far, but I have it. I like the hero, and I'm struggling some with the colors, and also with. I mean, we built the logo to be so wispy and thin, and I feel like that not all of this fits that. Also, it's curves. It's not hard lines. This is hard lines. So maybe let's do this here. Just add a div block in here. Throw this into the div. That div block back up top. And let's make the div block relative. And let's make the heading absolute. I want the button out of this here as well. Yeah. All right. What seems to be the problem here? Do position. Oh. Hmm. It's just that there was no height to it. All right. So got this back. And so maybe to bring out some of that style as a way. Hey. Ooh, the computer is on the struggle bus because of the stream. I might have to kill this, but we'll see how far we get. We'll call this, actually, I don't want it to be that. I want it to be text block here. And we'll call it hero style text background. I'm going to make it absolute as well. This is the index of like 2. This is the index of 1. And let's go ahead and okay. Let's color it. Let's make it like really big. Let's go for it. Interesting. Oh, what do I want to do with this? Let's do something like this. We could copy and paste it. We could call it layer 2 style text. We could give it like a text shadow. I think I'd have to do that. Photoshop to really get the effect I want to blur it. Tabs anymore. Okay. And for now, let's hide that. Just decide whether we want it later or not. Okay. So I wanted kind of a tag board too, so that there was a place to display images, like if you went in to have your hair cut by someone, you could hashtag it, and then it would automatically show up in a gallery on the side so people could kind of see the work that gets done. So I want to build that. I think we also need like a testimonial section, um, all that fun stuff. So home, about, stylists. Menu. And locations. That kind of works well. Works well with the model, like, you know, right there. Kind of presses everything, makes that feel better. So, really, I should probably have a CSS mask and rock that right there so that it feels a little more natural. But maybe as I get moving further down the road. So, and maybe this just needs to be bigger too. Or maybe this just needs to be the title font. Huh? Okay. Maybe. I'm fine with that though. Okay. Play with this just a little bit. Don't know what to do with this. Struggle a bit with what I want to do here. I'm gonna have to play with that to make sure, because I want to bring that style and voice from the logo. You know, I want this here, and maybe I need some background, like viney type things. I don't know. I kind of like the imagery to just stand out on its own. So, I don't know. All right. Yeah, been streaming for another hour. Nobody's really picking up, so I'm just going to kill the stream, and I'm going to continue to work.